Good afternoon, students, and we are going to start with this session will be continuation of previous session, and it is not the area we have covered last day. Last day we have run a simple servlet program, hello servlet program, and then we have created a application login servlet and home servlet, 3 servlet. And what are the things we have learned? A basic servlet program, and what are the how we have first servlet program run. This is the hello servlet. I hope all of you are able to view my screen. If you are not able to view the screen, interrupt me. And this is the hello servlet program last day we have learned. And if a simple program, it will print, and it will print some message that welcome to Java Technology Arena. This is a simple program we have last day done. Then we have done a starting page, index.jsp page. We have created a form, login form, and we learned what is the difference between get method, post method. And get method, data will be displayed in the browser. Post method, data will be hidden, and for security purpose, generally we do not do get method, and we use the post method. And and get and post, it has a multiple difference. Today I have shared the PDF. First open the PDF, and in the first chapter, the second chapter, you will get the find a tabular form. What is the difference between get and post? And if we consider what are the difference, first of all, get is not secured, post is secure. Get is actually, if by many cases all of you have uploaded file, like you have uploaded your CV to any job portal, you have uploaded photo to many portal, any LinkedIn or any Facebook, you have uploaded photo. But photo upload, that time we cannot use the get method. And those were the large file. Actually, get is very small, 254 MB data maximum can send in get method. But for large file, we can send using the post method. These are the primary difference between get and post. And even many modern framework, they have restricted to use get. They only allow in the post. Post is the standard for industry, but for simple cases, we can use the get. This is the difference between get and post. And from here we are going to start. And another thing, what happened any project, first after login, it will go to the login, and it will check the database whether it exists or not. And then actually what happened, then it go to the home servlet, and home servlet is a primary servlet, and it has a multiple role and different navigation and page navigation, and after one page display. And servlet plays the role as a central controller. Generally we can write HTML code inside a servlet, but that is the not purpose of the servlet. Servlet is not the purpose. We should write a mixing of Java and HTML. And if you write the Java and HTML, for example, this index.jsp page, exactly you can write the servlet for it. We can write every line out.println. You can write so many lines. Then imagine how many lines of code it will be happen. It will be a huge code you need to have written by yourself. So it is not the right thing. We should mix up. We should write the HTML code inside servlet. We should not do actually. Okay, sometimes you respond, then I will be able to understand that we are following.
Okay.
Next, what we will do today, little bit changes. First we will do the last day we have done the login form. Okay, let it run again. And this is the area actually we are not only learning, it is a step we have already entered in the project development. Okay, and it is first what we have done, what this week we will do, what are the CRUD functionality already we have done earlier, those CRUD functionality will be implemented here. Okay. those CRUD functionality will be implemented here, and that is the primary task. One things I want to download, already we have done HTML. During HTML we have done a registration form. That will be useful here. Let me download it. One can do it. First, what we will do it, we will do the validation, and if this is the login page, we will be do the validation using JavaScript. And that is the reason earlier we have learned JavaScript independently, but here we will do the validation, and if it is fail, login page will be strict here. If it is a not fail, it will go to the next page. We are writing a small JavaScript here to check the validation.
Okay.
And head section, if you can remember, here is a here we write the JavaScript ideally. And to close all unnecessary link now. Overhead. Okay, this is the page. Already last day we have done.
Yes.
Okay, this is a home server. This area we have worked. And what
Yes.
we can do? First of all, this page will be do JavaScript validation. Okay, then it will shown in the all message to here, and here we'll do the JavaScript validation, and here
Yes.
after this actually today our in subject topic. Just hold. Let's wait for it. Okay, all of you note down what are the topics we are going to learning here. We are going to learning here first in subject topic. We are going to learning today is how to handle session handling in subject. Session handling in subject, and why
Okay.
this? Actually, what happened? All of you know HTTP is a stateless protocol. Okay, so it
Yes.
cannot remember anything. The moment it clicks in the link, a page comes, it forgets the thing that moment. Okay, it cannot maintain the state. So, but if you have a Facebook account, LinkedIn account, or any online actually, you
Yes.
will be notice that after login, okay, you can access different pages. But how that things is can possible? That there is a four scope in an web application. You can note down it. There is a four scope.
Okay.
Let me open a notepad and write. There is a four scope in a web application.
How to do session handling?
Okay, and there is a four scope. We can maintain we can store the data. Okay, session is one of the scope, and then we can store the data. There is a four way. Okay, the first scope it's called page scope. Scope is called page. Actually, a data content only inside page. One page data tenure is exist in a page. Second is a request is a scope. Request. A data can handle it stored up to a single request. I can click like here. We are clicking in the user ID password login page. We are clicking submit. Submit means it is a request.
Yes.
And it is a getting to the subject. And then
Yes.
its scope lost. That is called request. Third scope is called session. HTTP session, SESSION session. Actually, what is the session? Session can store the data in multiple pages. It can handle the data in an application multiple pages. Another scope is called application. Application. Actually, today we are going to learn this session scope. How to handle data in session, and session is the best. There is another way. There is called cookie. Earlier used the cookie, but nowadays cookie do not use. In PDF, which PDF I have sent you, that PDF, if you go to the last chapter, there is a session handling. If you open that PDF, you will get the chapters called session handling. You can go through it. Okay, then your more theoretical concept of session will be clear. And today we are going to do the practical things. Okay. In session, actually, what are the things? The moment we log in the Gmail account, the user ID and password, it's stored in a session. The first things what happen? These are the four things happen. First, step on, create a session. Create a session object. Step 2, store value to a session. Step 3. Get value from a session. Get value. Step 4. Remove and invalidate session object. Okay, these are the 4 most important steps we are going to do now.
Okay.
Whenever we build an application and there is a login page will be there and login logout will be there. For the example, you will be working the big application, that is it. This is the website you will be work.
Okay.
Let me open the website. pcsglobal.co.in. One minute, service suspended. Please contact me. 1 minute. We have some problem happened with the website. Sorry. Okay, let's start. Okay, the moment we are getting the value, first, these are the 4 steps we are going to do. First, we are going to step the create a session object. Create a session object. The moment we are getting the just after login, we are going to, first we need to create the session object. Step 1. Create a session object. Create a okay. Step 1, create a session object. HTTP session. HTTP.
Okay.
HTTP session. Object session. Request dot get okay. HTTP session, it is an interface. HTTP session, it is an interface, but how that object instantiated, request.get session, it return the session object. Request.get session. What is request? Request is a, actually there is a request, there is two things. Actually in a website, two things happen. We access the website, we send the request and we get some response. Suppose we send the request, if we send the some value, we are getting some value.
Yes.
So that is the two things, two object is the primary object. One is the HTTP server request and one is the HTTP server response. Why HTTP? Because it support the HTTP protocol. And HTTP
Okay.
server request, if you click here, you will find the, what is the, it is a nothing but an interface. It is also a interface.
Yes.
HTTP server request is interface, HTTP server response is on interface, and this response and request, these are the object of HTTP server response, a request and response respectively.
Okay.
Now we are going to, we have created the line session. Then we need to write, what is the next step? To create a session object. We have done step one. Then stored value into session object. Stored value. Step two, we are storing value to session object.
Yes.
Session dot set attribute. Write the like. First we are storing the value user in session. First object, one is the user, one is the password. These two value will be stored in the session. User, and we are already got this value user. We are storing the user value in the session object. And many cases,
Yes.
it may be, since you are doing the first time, it may be gone upon your head. Okay, maybe, but don't fear about it. Okay, the moment you will do the practice, it will be easier. Okay, same things. This is the first time
Yes.
you are doing architecture, is, but the time will come, you will be completely accustomed with it. And after a certain time, we'll do the repeatedly new things. No new things. We'll do the repeatedly things. Next week onwards, we will
Yes.
nothing to learn new, but we will do the work for our project. That time we know the technology. This is the, now we are storing password value. Password value, and this password. This is the object, and this is the value. This step two, it means actually the moment we log in the Gmail account, that moment our password stored somewhere in the web application. Okay, the session object, it stored the value. Okay, then if I go to one page to another page, we will get the value in the session object, because browser do not able to remember anything. Browser do not have memory. Web browser do not have memory, but the session object have a memory. It store the data.
Okay.
Okay. Then we store the value here. Now you have stored the value here. Now we are going to the home server. You have gone to the home server. How will you understand that you have stored the value in session object? Are you getting the value object? How will you understand? Can you remember, anytime if you log in any application like Gmail or any Facebook, it in the top it shows hello, hello Mayank and hello Tanmoy, like the message on the top. That means you are in the logged in.
Yes, sir.
Whenever in logged in any application, it will on the top header, it shows the hello Tanmoy, hello something, hello your name. Yes. Then
Yes.
let's go to the home server. Just we have set the value. Now we are going to the home server. This is the step 3. We are going to the step 3, get value from session. Get value from session in home server. In home server, what we are doing here? Here we are getting the value. Again, string user. Here we need to create the object session. You need to import. You need to write session dot get attribute. To store value, session dot set attribute. To get value, you need to write the get attribute. These are the methods you need to write. And here you need to give the parameter name. In login servlet, you have set the value in session attribute is a user. Set attribute name is user. Then you are getting the value in the next servlet. That means everywhere you will go, it will be give the value. Here you give the value a object user. So you will get the user here. But it will, you need to typecasting. You need to typecasting. Typecasting means object to a string type. String password equal to similar it will be password. Right here println a message like hello user name user okay. This is the just learn the things. If we run the program from the first page again in login page, then you will be notice that this time it will get the value in the home servlet. But if you run the directly home servlet, if you run this servlet, you will get null because it is a value is not set. Because just experiment. Suppose I am running the home servlet, only home servlet. Just run this home servlet. That means we are not setting the value session. Then check what happens.
Okay.
Have you noticed in the on the top it is showing the hello null, name null, password null. All things are showing null.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed? So it is not getting the value. That means it is not value. Value is not setting in the session object. So it is getting null. Now we can start with the login page. Now start with the login page. Run the project. Okay, this is our login page. I am giving the value. Okay. The first, if I give the value, can you notice in the top? Now it is showing hello Mayank, name Mayank, password 1 2 3 4.
Oh yes, sir.
Now it is
get message is used right now, na? Do get method is used here, na?
What is let's go through the entire logical flow. What is happening? Okay, starting from the starting page. All of you listen carefully how session object is working. Just what I am doing. In the first page, I am clicking on the submit button. In submit button, what is happening? It is submitting the form. So it is going to the login servlet. It is going to the login servlet. Value comes to login servlet. Value comes, how value comes? It does the request.get parameter. Request.get parameter, it is getting the value user. It getting the value password. The two values is storing in the string variable, user and password. Now, the moment I am getting the value, after the moment you log in the Gmail application or any Facebook, that moment it store your value to session object. And that is the reason we are creating HTTP session request.get session 2. We create the session object, step 1. Step 2, we set the value in session user to store the value, user and password. Set attribute user, set password, password. Then actually what we have done, it is just checking the condition. If user equal to Mayank and password equal to 1 2 3 4, it is going to call home servlet. So it is going to the home servlet, another servlet. But in another servlet, we need to get the value. We need to get the value user and password, and it will be display the value. And what happened? So it is getting the value from the session. This is the step 3. This is the step 3. This is step 3, get value from session. Okay. And all of you have noticed that after when you thought, okay, your all work has been done today, or Facebook or Gmail, then what we do? And on the top corner, there is a logout section. Yes or no? Logout section. You click on the logout and it goes to the home page. It logout, always you do the logout. Yes or no? Can you respond? Hello, are you listening? If I do not get any response, anybody can respond. Okay. Sometimes you respond in chat, or okay, then how I will understand you are in the opposite end, you are not following or not following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you respond. Okay. And why only Mayank will be respond? I do not expect it. Okay, I expect everybody will respond. Everybody will respond. Okay. Do not require Mayank will only respond. Okay, so I am providing the training to everybody. Okay, and all of you are going to involve the project. Please unmute and respond. And also in chat, those who are not have an issue with the mic, you respond in chat. Okay, always session cannot be a dry session. Okay, I know it. I can do the by myself. But while I am teaching you, if I need to understand whether you are able to follow or catch my words or not. Okay, next, actually, we are going to create a simple link, logout. We are creating the logout.
Okay.
Then how we can do it? Okay. Out.println. Okay, Mayank Shubhurjit already also joined in this session. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What we can do here? href. Logout. We are creating another servlet. We are creating a separate servlet to understand better. That servlet is a login servlet. We are creating another servlet. It will be understandably more better. We are creating the servlet logout servlet.
Okay.
Logout.
Subhrojit Chandra, please go to mute.
Hello, sir. Good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Subhrojit, you can stay in this session, okay? And you can stay in the session, and actually Mayank is also there. You can type your email ID to Mayank so that Mayank can send to attendance sheet to you. You can type in chat box your email ID.
Okay, I have already given it.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Okay.
I got it.
You can attach in this session also, okay? And sometimes since you have an Excel sheet also, and during these sessions, you can follow, actually just go through who have joined, who have not joined, okay? You can just follow up them. You can call them individually, okay? You can, if you go to the box, actually, you'll notice the 27, and in between 27, 3 to 4 persons are from our PCS Global, and rest of the teams are the students also. And just who in your large Excel sheet who have not joined, and actually you need to follow up them. You need to follow up them. Why now? What is the issue? And actually every day as a training coordinator, you need to stay with me at the beginning. Okay, since you have joined later, and till you communicate with them who have not joined today. Yes, this is a new servlet done. The new servlet, we need to do? Go to the web.xml. You will notice another servlet done. Okay, every time we are creating, always automatically, the day we have started web.xml, it was empty. Now, if you just look forward, web.xml is becoming bigger. Web.xml, because it is a ID tool is automatically writing the servlets code in the XML code.
Okay.
Now in home servlet, okay, in home servlet, we are calling the home servlet, and then single quote and closing bracket, and then you need to write sign out. Okay, so we have written it, and it will call the login servlet. It will call the login servlet.
Okay.
Okay, let it run. And go to the sign logout servlet. Give a message at least. Out servlet, just give a message. Out dot. Okay, just we have created another servlet. Now, what is the servlet? First, we started with the login servlet, then it goes to the home servlet, then it goes to the logout servlet, and finally it will go to the again round. Actually, if you log out, it will go to the login page. Every time it happens, if you sign out, it will go to the login page. Let's check whether it is able to go to the next page.
Okay.
Okay, it's come to here. Then we're giving the user ID password. Okay. Actually, it is gone to user ID password, and it is showing a link sign out. It is giving
Okay.
sign out. Okay, just 1 minute. High class history. Logout servlet, home servlet. Okay, home servlet. Okay, 1 minute. It is not required here. Okay. Now, if you click in sign out, just check it will go to the another page. Now it is going to the logout servlet. Okay. Then in logout servlet, you will do the multiple action activities in home servlet. But after a certain time, you will feel, no, I have to leave the site. So you will do the logout. That always we do. We log out the system, we log out the application. So then we call the logout servlet. In logout servlet, again, we will get the value from session. In logout servlet, again, we will get the value from session.
Okay.
But here, after getting the session, we will do the different things. We will do the step 4. Here,
Remove
we are
and
going to
validate
do,
session.
yes, remove value and invalidate session. Actually, you have to remove so that session cannot object. The first, we are going to step 4. What are the line I need to do? First, I got the value, 2 value from session. Now I need to write session dot remove attribute. Session dot remove attribute. Next.
Okay.
Yes,
Sir,
tell me.
you told that.
Yes, tell me.
Do post is more secure. So why are you writing the code under do get method? If we write the code under do post, then it will be more secure, right?
Yes, it is a do get is not secure. Do post and real work actually for it is a simple example. Now we are learning now. We are not thinking about the security. Okay, that is the reason we are using it, and definitely real project any secure application we will do the all in using post, not in get. Okay, and where is a very basic cases, not security is not a matter that we will do the in get. Okay.
Okay.
Since we are learning it, we are doing the okay. Next. Now this is the we have remove attribute. That means we have removed that attribute. It actually, what is this meaning of this line? This meaning your session object is live, but in a session can store multiple value. Actually, session in session you should not do big object. You should not store like a student registration object. I cannot store in the session. That is not advisable. Okay, suppose you are getting the backend list of student. Okay, it is heavy. Okay, you should not store that things in session. Session is a purpose to store small data, very small data like user, like password. Very small data we can store in the session. Okay, that is the intention. If we do not use session, what is the alternate way? That is called cookie handled. In cookie, actually, sometimes you have observed. Have you opened any website? It is a giving notification. Your data will be saved in the cookie. Okay, some allow or permission. Actually, what happened? Many cases you have noticed you have opened the browser and then its page is open. Gmail is open. You have not logged out. You just giving the Gmail ID. Okay, you have crossed the browser. Again, the Gmail page is opening. How that thing is possible? HTTP is a stateless protocol. Then how it is happening? That is the call.
Using sessions.
No. That is not session. That is a cookie. It is called cookie.
Okay.
That is a concept. Small things called cookie. Okay. I am not going to details. In future, if I will discuss about the cookie. Actually, nowadays cookie is generally not used. But cookie, what is cookie? Cookie is a small object. It is inside in browser. It is inside a browser. It remembers some small data. Like actually, it's remember small data. It can you can store your user ID password, but One time was that when session was not invented. The first, there is a 4-way we have stored the data. 4-way. One is the hidden field. One page is hidden field. You can carry the data from one page to another page. That is called hidden field. Then comes it is called cookie. Okay, and that is one way is the cookie. And another concept called URL rewriting. Rewriting. If you go open the PDF, you will find it. URL rewriting. And another concept is called session. The session is the best. Nowadays, only session is used. Okay, in today's world, session is the best. Okay. Then session object, user value remove, password remove, but session object not remove. Then how will we destroy the session object? You write session dot invalidate. It will destroy your session object, which object you have created. And then you can send to the login page. The moment your session has been done, then what you will do? It will go to the logout page, a login page.
Yes.
Then you write this code. And here you need to write the which page, your page name index.jsp. Your page, just write it is these 3 lines. Actually, we are writing 3 line coding, but if you use in JSP, you need to write a single line, very small code in JSP. Now JSP makes much more easier, but it is in servlet we need to write a little bit much more coding. And these lines, servlet context dot get servlet context dot get request dispatcher index.jsp. Okay. Actually, it will forward which page you are going. It will forward which page you are going. Just okay. No need to think too much stress that what should I do. You should always remember, if I connect with one page to another page, it communicates with the page to page or servlet to servlet, inter-servlet communication, or it is servlet to JSP page also communication. Okay, but this is now done the things. Okay, after if I click the sign out, you will notice that it will go into the login page. Let's run the project again. Okay, so then what is happening? We are giving the user ID and password. Click submit.
Yes.
You notice that you have reached in the home servlet page. It is a login servlet, but since login servlet has been forwarded to the home servlet, it is showing the login servlet.
Okay.
Now actually, if I click in the sign out, in sign out, actually what will happen? Just click. It is coming to
Login page.
It is coming to login page. But the things on the top you show that it is a server name is showing logout servlet, but actually login page is showing that this is the things is a round circle. That these 4 steps it complete. Step 1, we created a session object. Step 2, we set value user ID password to the session object. Step 4, we get the value from session. And actually in home page we can multiple page will be connected, na? Multiple page will be connected in home page. It is a entire web. Think about the website, and from there, at the finally, if I will FD website on the top, there is a notice that it is a sign out, log out or sign out. Click there. It will remove your session object value. It will remove invalidate session object. So this is the round circle of a session handling in Servlet. Hope I am able to clear you.
Yes, sir. This actually happens while we log out.
Yes, this is the actually we never know actually, but this is the internally happen. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, we are accessing websites. Okay, year after year, but these are the things now we are learning what is happening in backend.
Actually.
Okay, that is the reason we are going to be engineer. We are going to be software developer. Very good. Next, what should we
Yes.
learn? In PDF, we want to discuss is something about the web.xml. Web.xml, earlier I told you it is called deployment descriptor.
Descriptor.
Deployment descriptor. The deployment descriptor, actually what are the object? Actually it is the mapping. Your servlet is a Java class, but how is servlet web content? It is a servlet container. A servlet container, they reads this servlet every time. Actually, when your server start, Glassfish or Tomcat server start, first it creates the instance of this. It creates the instance of the servlet. Okay. Actually, there is another attribute is missing here. I can write this load on startup. Load on startup. You can search is load on startup. Load on startup. Load on startup. In Java T point, you also can go through this Java site. Website is very good site. Load on for learning servlet.
Yes.
Actually, on attribute, we can explicitly mention or not. It is not required, but just for learning. Okay, like this. Actually, the moment servlet is going to, and if we use the attribute, we can write here an attribute. Load copy. On startup. Actually, this is load on startup. What is the meaning of this? Load on startup, actually you can mention it, not mention. Okay, it is not just learning, it is not required to use. Actually, suppose a Tomcat server, we are working with a Tomcat server or Glassfish server. At the beginning, server not started. But actually, next status, you have started the server, but you have not run the application. The first you have started a Tomcat, but you have not started the application. So that means your server started. But if you write this attribute load on startup, the moment Tomcat server will start, that moment object of login server will be created in the memory. Okay, and we have not mentioned load on startup anywhere. That moment, that means the moment it request will come to servlet container, that on the fly it will create the instance. When a request will come, then it will create the instance. And when this is the if we mention it, the moment our server will be start up, then it will create an object of this servlet instance. Okay, so this is the meaning of load on startup.
Okay.
Okay. Next. Let's discuss about the now what are the things we have learned. We are completely familiar with the servlet, and now let me discuss about the servlet life cycle. It is a simple life cycle. Okay, if you go open the PDF SCWCD, which PDF I have sent to all of you, you will be find out the servlet life cycle.
Yes.
Now we have done a servlet. Then actually,
Yes.
in every servlet it follows a life cycle method. And actually, at the first day we have done in the servlet interface, because while we are creating the home servlet, all servlet like general servlet, HTTP servlet, servlet, all are connected. All are connected because it was inheritance started from the servlet interface.
Yes.
That means actually this is the life cycle. Step 1 is servlet class loaded in the memory. That is the step 1. Step 2 is servlet instance is created. When a request is coming, a servlet object is created. Then servlet method, init method is invoked. Init method is invoked.
Yes.
Then do get, do post, and service. That day I have seen that if even I do not write the do post or do get, service method will call. But then in actually service
Yes.
method call. Server can call do get or do post method. Then finally, actually the moment we are leaving website, okay, and the moment we are stopping our Tomcat server or Glassfish server, it destroy the object, it destroys the servlet instance. That is these are the 5 steps of the servlet life cycle. These are the 5 steps of servlet life cycle. All of you can little bit follow these websites also. This is very good site.
Yes.
Life cycle of a servlet. Next things we need to discussion, request dispatcher. Okay, now come to the topic request dispatcher. Okay,
Okay.
let's come. We are going to discuss now the 2-3 topics. Request dispatcher. What is request dispatcher? Request dispatcher. Okay, first of all of you, no need to highly value. Okay, if I do not know how will you able to do the project? No, not like that. Okay, actually it is a first of all you work with it, copy paste, and gradually if you study you will be understand. And nobody, even myself also, even nobody, I have never seen that at the beginning the developer understand everything. Okay, so it is
Yes.
not an exam. Okay, it is you have to learn everything and then you will be able to type. No, you just copy paste and then go through the theory. And first time you will study in PDF, it will go upon your head. Second time you will study, it will go upon your head. Okay, nothing. Third time, oh, these things is happening. These things, we have done this program and these things is happening really. Fourth time you will be master. Fifth time you will be teach other. Okay, suppose your other group, you are doing one group project and another group is there facing problem. Help them, teach them, and then again study. Your entire concept will be clear.
Okay.
Okay, the first we will learn little bit request dispatcher. What is request dispatcher? In PDF books, if you go to the PDF, there is if you search in the PDF request dispatcher, you will get one topics actually discussion about the request dispatcher. Dispatcher request. What is the meaning of this? Dispatch. Dispatch means one place to another place. I am transferring one place to another place. So in a servlet, I want to go to one servlet to another servlet or one servlet to another JSP page. That is the meaning word of the dispatcher. Then a object created, that is name is request dispatcher. The request dispatcher has a 2 flavor. One is the servlet context and one is the servlet request. One is the servlet context, another is the servlet request. And this is the area, don't be too serious that you have to learn it. Okay, you just go through it. If you forget, no matter. Okay. And request dispatcher, there is 2 things. One is a servlet context and one is a flavor called servlet request. We can do this code again another way. there is another way. What is another way? We can write these things using RD1. Okay, you can write here request. I'm commenting this. I'm just commenting this. Request. Okay. Here I have commented earlier. We have done servlet context dot get request dispatcher. Context dot get request dispatcher. Now we are doing the request. Request is an object of servlet request. Request is an object of HTTP server request, and request dot get request dispatcher. Now, what is the difference? Actually, there is a difference. Actually, two things you need to learn. One thing, there is called servlet context. What is a context? Context is actually while we are running our application. Okay, this is called context. This up to these things is called context. TICT, BCA, J2E web app, it is called context. This is the project name, our web project name. Actually, that name is context. And if we go for any website like javatpoint.com, actually this domain name is mapped with your project context. This domain name is mapped with the project context. While you will upload this project to a hosting server, it will map. Okay, name server mapping happen. So this is the context. This javatpoint.com, this is the context. Okay, am I able to clear? And yes. The moment you know when we are writing the path as a slash, javatpoint slash life cycle of a servlet. This is a, here you are aware that after context you are writing the next page path name, next page path name. There is no gap, it is a slash. And if it is called servlet context path, it is called absolute path. You can note down the term, it's called absolute path. Absolute, ABSOLUTE, absolute path.
Okay.
Absolute path, this is a genuine path. But if it is a happens sometimes, if actually while you will work with the other big project, you will notice in there is some dot dot slash. Okay, actually, if I able to see any big project, 1 minute. Any project, this is a professional tutor project. I want to show you the what is called a relative path. When I'm starting with the something slash, that is called absolute path. Just go to here. Okay. Where is it? JS and CSS. It is another project, but you need to learn what is called absolute path, what is called relative path. Okay. Have you noticed? It has been written URL dot dot slash images hover g dot dot slash. It is a when path because it is a dot means one package structure, one folder structure. Two dot means it is inside two package. Okay. The things is this type of path is called a relative path. This type of path is called a relative path. It is a not exact path. It is a relative path. Understand that yes. For relative path we use request.get request dispatcher. For relative path we use request.get request dispatcher. For absolute path we use the servlet context.get request dispatcher. Okay, when path will be like this. Okay, like this. This is the okay. Actually, when this comes, actually here also it will come. Suppose here we are writing. 1 minute, let me minimize. In TICT, actually here is the index is a page, but if this page path, I have created another folder. Suppose I create the folder name, and if I want to from this servlet to this servlet, okay, with different folder structure, okay, I am not exact sure path. In that case, I need to write dot dot slash or slash dot, or it has a meaning. So relative path, it is a lesson learning, okay. and if during project these situations come, definitely I'll tell you. But in your project, you will be write all servlet context dot get request dispatcher is okay. Even if you write the request dot get request dispatcher also will work. If it is a absolute path, still it will work also. Okay, so generally, but if it is a relative path and if you write the servlet context dot get request dispatcher, it will not work. But if it is write request dot get request, it will work. So this is the small thing, and this is the difference between request path and it is a request dispatcher, but absolute path and relative path. That is a servlet request and servlet context. Okay, this is the if you go through Java T point or any tutorial site, this is the area discussion: servlet request and servlet context. Okay, good. Next we will learn what is servlet config. Servlet config. Actually, servlet config. I can give you the better example later. Okay, actually the servlet config, if you want to get servlet specific information, in that case use the servlet config. Okay, I will create a very small example and next day. Okay, today I do not want to overburden. These are the things it is not required for our project, but it is some additional information. Servlet config, actually servlet config and servlet context, there is a two difference. Servlet config and servlet context. Context actually entire application. Suppose we are storing some value that is common for all. Like your college director, articulation, it is for all students. He is a director for all students. Yes or no? But
yes.
Hemant sir is a faculty of computer science. Okay, so those who are in arts student in Nivedita University, they are not attached with the Hemant sir because he is a teacher of computer science. But director is attached with him.
Yes.
Understand? The city is actually servlet config. It is related to a particular servlet. Actually, every servlet, like we have created login servlet, home servlet, logout servlet. So servlet config is every servlet has a servlet config object. Understand? But servlet context object, it creates the entire application. Actually, I will show you when we will export this project. We will create the binary file for hosting export. It will create another file like meta-inf. It will create another file meta-inf. Actually, it will create the context. That time it will show the context. Okay. The things is, this is the discussion about the servlet request, servlet context. So what you will do? You will just go through blindly 1 or 2 times theory. Okay. Whatever you will able to understand, that's okay. Not understood, that's okay. Completely okay. Okay, but you go through it. Okay, that first 3 chapters, there is a chapters in filter. It is not required for you. It is a filter chapters not required to learn in PDF, which PDF I have given. Keep that PDF as handy. But rest chapters you just go through. You just go through overview. Okay. The next, actually we have covered the servlet config context, and now we are going to this session had already do a discuss. There's a cookies in a servlet, hidden font field, URL redirecting. These are the 4 ways. But we have learned HTTP session because I do not make you overburden with the unnecessary things at this level. Okay, when you will be used to with the project, then you can learn cookie, because cookies will be actually not will be today's date, today's generation cookie do not use. Hidden field is a strictly restricted use. URL redirecting, it is also strictly restricted.
Yes.